It is possible to identify a person's socioeconomic level just by observing their body language during 60 seconds of conversation, according to the University of California. And here is the problem. Women spend an average of 3.8% of their annual income on clothes, but most still cannot convey the impression of wealth they desire. Why? Because they are playing the wrong game. What if I told you that designer bag you bought in 10 installments is actually screaming the opposite of what you think? Because while you believe you are signaling sophistication, truly wealthy people are reading something completely different. I am Carol. I am 40 years old and I love beauty just as much as you do. Here at Lucrative Elegance, I teach women to decode the visual and behavioral codes of real wealth. So, if you want to learn to make the right impression and transform your elegance into something truly lucrative, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, and leave that like, because what I am going to tell you today will completely change the way you dress and behave. So let us get straight to the point. You are using too many logos. The CFO of LVMH, Jean-Jacques Guillaume, revealed something shocking to the Financial Times. Most Louis Vuitton products are not sold to the truly wealthy, but rather to the upper middle class wanting to appear rich. Let that sink in for a second. The luxury brands themselves admit that their main customers are not millionaires. They are ordinary people trying to buy their way into a club that operates by completely different rules. Here is what happens. You buy that bag with the giant monogram thinking you are communicating status, but truly wealthy women look at you and think, walking billboard. Because they learned long ago that real wealth whispers, it does not shout. Have you noticed how women who actually have money never talk about it? Remember that scene from Succession where Kendall Roy appears in his expensive bomber jackets and cashmere caps? The show's costume designers revealed they studied how the 1% really shop. They literally followed millionaires inside stores like Brunello Cucinelli and Loro Piana and watched what they touched, felt. And you know what they discovered? Texture. Everything is about fabric texture, not about visible logos. The appeal of clothing for these people is in the craftsmanship of the piece, in the minimalist and refined cuts. But Carol, you must be thinking, so how do I show I have good taste if I cannot use recognizable brands? Excellent question, and the answer will surprise you. It turns out that Ivy League university students in the 20th century developed their own code. They wore their most worn clothes as a point of pride. It was all about how frayed and worn the piece was. You did not want it to look new. You did not want to appear like you tried too hard. They could afford to dress like that because it would not knock them down from their social position. They could almost flagrantly play with their presentation. Someone who was not white or rich, on the other hand, had to look presentable, had to make an effort. A classist reality that is still percolating in today's quiet luxury discourse. Do you see the irony? The people who really need to make a good impression are those who can least afford to look relaxed. For a long time, I also thought an expensive piece automatically put me on another level. I have made these mistakes too, including that bag with the giant logo that I wore until I got tired of it. Until I realized I was being read as someone trying to buy approval, not as someone who simply had class. So you are stuck in this cruel paradox. The more you try to prove you have money through logos and obvious brands, the more you signal exactly the opposite. It is like a neon sign flashing saying, I need your validation. You are trying to buy respect, when in fact it is earned through silence. And there is more. Your body is betraying you before you even open your mouth. Researchers discovered that people of higher socioeconomic status demonstrate specific body language that sets them apart. They maintain comfortable eye contact without turning it into a weird stare. They stand naturally upright, with shoulders back and spine aligned, but it is not that forced military posture, it is just balanced. They use controlled and intentional gestures to illustrate points instead of filling silences. And here is something fascinating. Truly wealthy women move slowly. They do not rush. They do not fidget with keys nervously. They do not run from one task to another. They give each moment what it deserves. The hurry, the noise, the ostentation, all of that is read as desperation. But you are probably doing everything wrong. You smile too much wanting to please. You nod too much wanting to show agreement, looking like a bobblehead doll. You cross your arms over your stomach, making your body seem closed and insecure. You fidget with your hands, revealing anxiety. Are you being read as someone who knows or someone who imitates? And there is more about behavior that nobody tells you. The tone of voice. Rich women speak at a moderate volume. They never shout to get attention. The diction is impeccable. Each word is pronounced clearly, but without affectation. They use silence as a tool, making strategic pauses in conversation instead of filling every second with words. How you sit also communicates volumes. Elegant women cross their ankles, not their knees completely. They lean slightly forward when interested, but never hunch their shoulders. When they stand up, the movement is fluid, without rush. And the greeting? A firm but brief handshake, looking into the eyes. No effusive hugs with people they barely know. And you know the worst? You are wearing the wrong amount of accessories. Rich women follow specific accessory mathematics. While other people wear 5 pieces of moderate price, they invest in one extraordinary item. A single exceptional bag that lasts decades offers better cost per use than multiple trendy bags that fall apart or look dated in one season. They also never wear more than 2 logos. Never. If you are wearing that bag with LV all over it, that belt with giant good game, and that scarf with recognizable pattern, you just failed the test. Old money women keep bracelets to a minimum. Although they may wear one beautiful bracelet on each wrist, they prefer rings to be the main focus. Most prefer a sophisticated watch instead of bracelets. And here is something nobody tells you. They avoid oversized outerwear. You will rarely see a rich woman wearing a huge coat. They like winter clothes that favor their silhouette, making them look slimmer and more refined. Look, I understand the frustration. You work hard, earn your money, want to treat yourself to something nice. But then, you discover that piece that was supposed to make you look successful is actually communicating the opposite. It is like discovering you were playing chess while everyone else was playing poker. And that is exactly why I created my course, Look Rich Without Spending Much. Because it is not fair that there are secret codes nobody teaches. It is not fair that you spend your hard-earned money on the wrong pieces while women who were born into this world navigate it with ease. In my course, I decode all these visual, behavioral, and social signals of rich women. You will learn exactly which colors to wear, which fabrics to choose, how to move, how to speak, how to occupy space. And no, you do not need to be rich to learn this. You just need to understand the rules of the game. Take advantage of the promotional price because this can literally transform the way you are perceived and treated in the world. The link is in the description. Back to our subject. Your shoes are giving you away. Rich women wear elegant and minimalist sneakers, probably Common Projects or Chanel, and they are always impeccable. Always. Because they never really walk. For that, there are drivers. But you? Your shoes probably have that scratched heel, that visible wear. And before you say you do not care about these superficial things, let me tell you a secret. Everyone cares. Everyone is silently judging you by your shoes, your posture, the condition of your clothes. You can be impeccable, but your walk reveals everything. And there is another trap. You are chasing trends. During Paris Fashion Week, something curious happens. While influencers and fashion enthusiasts wear the most avant-garde trends of the season, the wealthy women present dress in what can only be described as timeless. This is not boring. It is strategic. They understand something fundamental. Trends are expensive, not because of the initial cost, but because they require constant updating. Rich women build wardrobes around pieces that transcend seasons. A perfectly tailored blazer, a silk blouse in a flattering tone, pants that fit as if they were sculpted. These items form the backbone of a wardrobe that does not require renewal every 6 months. When they incorporate trends, it is through accessories or small touches that can be easily updated without restructuring the entire closet. This approach reflects a deeper understanding of fashion as investment rather than consumption. Each purchase is evaluated not just by immediate impact, but by longevity and versatility. The question is not, is this trendy? But, will I want to wear this 5 years from now? And there is a cultural comparison I love to make. While average Americans run to display a Gucci logo, discreet French women walk around with a Hermes scarf inherited from their grandmother. The difference? One wants to be noticed. The other has already been chosen. Olivia Palermo dresses as if each piece were custom-made, and maybe it was. But the secret is that none of them shout. Grace Kelly never needed a logo to be recognized as an icon. She entered a room and the silence spoke for her. And there is something about Rihanna worth mentioning. At the Super Bowl halftime show, she wore Salomon sneakers. Salomon, that hiking brand you buy at REI. Because in recent years, tactical gear like hiking boots, cargo pants, and waterproof jackets became de rigueur under the aesthetic categories of normcore or gorpcore. The name comes from good old raisins and peanuts, a term for trail mix. Do you see the pattern? Truly wealthy women do not follow the rules you think they follow. Elegance is not about showing off, it is about not needing to explain. Because here is the real secret nobody wants to admit: being rich does not automatically make you elegant. Having money does not mean you know how to dress, and not knowing how to dress does not mean you are poor. Elegance is a skill. It is something you learn, practice, refine. It is understanding that a midi dress with a slit is more sophisticated than a cropped skirt. It is knowing you should never wear bold-colored eyeshadow, keeping eye makeup as simple and natural as possible. It is understanding the 3-color rule and never wearing more than that in an outfit. And there is something about transparency you need to know. Rich women rarely wear completely transparent blouses. However, some may opt for a fashionable blouse with transparent sleeves. This is purposeful. They understand that transparency has to be used strategically, not as a statement. You know what else? They rarely wear more than 1 or 2 necklaces, unless it has spiritual or personal meaning. Rich women wear only one large, beautiful necklace that elevates the rest of the outfit. They believe less is more, but when they wear it, it is the right piece. And prints? They love prints and patterns, but they always make sure not to break the 3-color rule. If they are wearing a printed dress or blouse, you can be sure the rest of the outfit will be minimalist and neutral. The more you try to look rich, the more you look anxious. And here is something that will blow your mind. 61% of American families earning more than $250,000 per year do not drive luxury brands. They drive Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords. That basic BMW 3 Series, it is often financed by someone stretching their budget to project an image they cannot really afford. Truly wealthy individuals see through this immediately. They know a basic BMW with minimal features is just expensive transportation with a premium badge. They prefer to drive a reliable Toyota and invest the difference in assets that actually grow their wealth, not depreciate in the garage. And I will tell you an example I saw with my own eyes. The party was black tie, but she showed up in a tight and shiny dress, with shoes higher than necessary, all in the name of looking stunning. Result? It sounded desperate. Meanwhile, the truly wealthy women in the room were in simple, elegant dresses, in luxurious fabrics but without excessive shine. And guess who got more attention? And that is where you are going wrong. You are trying to look rich instead of building real wealth. You are buying the symbols instead of the substance. You are playing the superficial game while truly wealthy people are playing the long game. Look, I am not telling you to stop liking beautiful things. I love beautiful things. I love luxury, good taste, quality. But I learned there is a huge difference between looking rich and being treated as rich. And that difference is in the details nobody teaches you. It is knowing you never put your bag on the floor. It is understanding your phone should never be on the table during dinner. It is keeping your nails impeccable, even if it is just with nude polish. It is ensuring your clothes are always clean, pressed, and without visible signs of wear. It is about having that calm look even when everything around you is chaotic. It is about moving with purpose, not with hurry. It is about listening more than talking. It is about maintaining comfortable eye contact without staring. These are the small things, these micro behaviors that really communicate class and sophistication. And the beautiful part? They cost $0 to implement. You just need to know what they are. So yes, you can be well-dressed and still nobody believes you have money, because you are focusing on the wrong things. You are buying the logo when you should be buying quality. You are chasing trends when you should be building a timeless wardrobe. You are trying to impress when you should simply be. And the painful truth is, the more you try to prove something, the more obvious it becomes that you are trying. Truly wealthy women do not try. They simply are. And that difference is everything. But here is the good news. This can be learned. You can learn the codes. You can learn the language. You can learn to move through the world in a way that opens doors, that commands respect, that makes people treat you differently. So let us review what you learned today. First, stop using excessive logos. The luxury industry has already admitted the truly wealthy are not their main buyers. Second, your body language is betraying you. Upright posture, controlled movements, comfortable eye contact, and that calm pace are essential. Third, accessories follow specific mathematics. One extraordinary piece is worth more than 5 mediocre ones. Fourth, trends are expensive traps. Invest in timeless pieces that transcend seasons. Fifth, invisible details communicate more than any logo. Tone of voice, how you sit, how you greet, how you use silence. And when you master this, when you finally understand these unwritten rules, you become that woman who enters the room and everyone notices. But nobody knows exactly why. You become magnetic without being flashy. You become memorable without being obvious. And you become the woman other women study trying to figure out your secret. And the secret is simple. You stopped trying to look rich and started embodying the behaviors of real wealth. If you liked this video, comment below the phrase, "Money is not everything." If you enjoyed this content and want to go deeper into this world of elegance and social codes, consider becoming a channel sponsor through the membership club. Prices start at just $4.99. Click the Become a Member button and let us go together on this transformation journey. Because in the end, elegance is not about how much you spend, it is about how you present yourself to the world. And that is priceless.